Knights of Apollo. What's up, guys? It's Pixelated-Apollo. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'm so glad you can join me for this very historic moment. Today is November 10th, 2016, and exactly 10 years ago this day, Medieval 2 Total War was released to the public, and we never looked back. Yes, that's right. This is the 10-year anniversary for Medieval 2 Total War, and we are going to celebrate. There's no way that I could just pass this date without doing anything special. Medieval 2 Total War, it's the heart of my channel, and I know I haven't been uploading a lot of it. Really, I should say it's the foundation of my channel. I started out with Medieval 2. I have countless hours playing Medieval 2. So much fun with this game, and it truly deserves a special video for its 10-year anniversary. I believe other people around YouTube, other Total War channels, they're going to be doing some special stuff for Medieval 2. So this is truly a great day for Medieval 2, which I think is the best Total War. It's the golden standard of all Total Wars, what all the other Total War games should try to achieve to be like. You know, this is the perfect example of a perfect Total War game. And again, to celebrate, I really can't think of any better way to celebrate than to have a massive siege battle on good old classic Medieval 2 Total War. This is a battle replay from one of my most loyal subscribers, my longest subscribers. Been a great player, a great friend, and he's also a great modder. His name is Emperor of the Great Unknown. So thank you, man, for the battle replay. This is going to be something special. I can't wait to see how this battle turns out. But again, before we get started with this battle, let's talk a little bit about Medieval 2, because it definitely deserves its praise. And we got to talk about it a little bit. I mean, it's the 10th birthday, which is insane. It felt like yesterday this game was out. I was like 14 years old, playing it and just not having a good computer to play it, and having to sneak onto my brother's computer because he always had the better computer, so I had to sneak on and play on his system. But anyways, like I was saying earlier, Medieval 2 Total War, the golden standard of Total Wars. Some of you guys may disagree. I know there's a lot of Rome Total War fans out there, which I respect. I understand that Rome Total War is a very close second. There's just something about the time period. There's something about the charm of Medieval 2, and there's something about the siege battles about Medieval 2 that it's just not, you just can't compare it to any other Total War. So, yeah. Again, if you like Rome Total War a little bit more, I respect that, but I'm sure you guys still like Medieval 2 because it's just such a classic. And you know, I hope that CA will go back. I mean, this is truly the golden years for Total War. I hope they go back and look at certain elements of Medieval 2 that make it so special, and they add it to their next historical title, whatever that may be. Of course, not making it a carbon copy, but just taking things that are just so awesome, like the engine. The engine is so amazing. The gameplay, the options you have in campaign. Just, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's an old game and I played it as a kid, you know, I might just be a little biased. That might be so. There might be some truth to that. But I still think overall the game is fantastic, and hopefully they go back to their roots, and they dissect some of Medieval 2 and put it into their new game. Because trust me, I want a new game to come out to be better than Medieval 2. That hasn't happened yet. That has not happened. I want that to happen because, you know, I just want Total War to be super successful. I want them to continue to make great games. But yeah, Medieval 2, just all around great game. I really hope that I mean, this is a shot in the dark, and this will probably never happen, but I think they should make a Medieval 2 HD edition. I really do, and I don't, you know, ask for much. All I want is for them to improve the graphics, make it run a little bit better for newer systems, and put all the expansions into one game, so you can, you know, play Crusader, Britannia, New World, you know, the Americas in one game, so you don't have to leave and change servers. It really divides up the players, so that would be amazing. And also, if they could somehow put multiplayer campaign, I know that's a pretty tough challenge there, but if they could do that, that would be awesome. But that's just bonus. That's just icing on the cake. icing on the cake, excuse me. I just want to see new graphics, the expansions all put into one, and making it easier for players to play online, and hopefully keep the Medieval 2 community going strong, because right now, guys, Medieval 2 community, it's going strong. This is a fantastic community. The game has so many mods. It's insane. This game is so moddable. It's just so much fun, and like I said, I spent countless hours playing this game. So Medieval 2 Total War, happy birthday. You are a beautiful game. And of course, congrats to CA for still being around, for still making games. And I hope that they're having some sort of celebration. I think they deserve it. Just you get a cake, you know, for the studio. Say happy birthday, Medieval 2. You're 10 years old and you're still the best. So how does that make you feel? Doesn't make the other games feel good. But yeah, so to celebrate, what we're gonna do today is in the comment section, write a cool comment about one of your favorite moments about Medieval 2 Total War, whether it be, you know, you and your best friend on one computer playing a single player campaign, commanding your kingdom, commanding your armies into victory, or maybe it was a great online battle, or maybe it was just you playing single player on a campaign that you had a really cool moment that you'll always remember. I'm sure I have countless moments that I remember. Even write down a moment where you were watching a YouTube video, and it doesn't have to be me, you know, of course. If it's a different YouTuber. Like, for example, for me, I remember the first time that I was hooked on Medieval 2 Siege battles, because there's nothing like a good old Medieval 2 Siege battle. I was watching Prince of Macedon, and I think I mentioned this already before on my YouTube channel, but he had an amazing siege battle. If we rewatched it together today, we'd be like, man, these players are terrible, but it was amazing at the time, and I was blown away. I was like, this is unreal. I've never experienced something like that. So cool. And his video is like close to 1 million views, so it's a good siege battle. It's an older video, but Prince of Macedon, the king of Total War, he got me hooked on Total War. He was a big inspiration on why I started making videos. So Prince of Macedon, you're probably not going to see this, but you know, if you do, thank you, buddy, for all the great content you have made. And thank you for making that siege battle. So I'll put a link to the video in the description. I'm sure most of you guys have already seen it if you've been a big Total War fan. So yeah, that's one of my great moments I had. I mean, I've had countless hours of great fun playing this game, and I mean, I could go on and, you know, I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to just drag on. That's very boring. Let's just go ahead and dive into this battle. So yeah, huge 4 versus 3, 4 attackers, 3 defenders. Let's go ahead and check out what these armies are, we'll see what the players are fielding here, what kind of forces they got. So we're gonna stay in slow motion. It looks like there's going to be somewhat of a sally out here. I don't want to miss any cav engagements. We also have some artillery. Look at this. At the main gate, we have a serpentine over here ready to fire down at the Venetians. They might be going for the enemy artillery. Very crafty. This is what I like to see. Very interesting strategies here by Jamie Dodger 25. But let's look at some of these forces here. By the way, you know this replay is going to be good when someone sends you a email, and this is what he has: one sentence. Emperor the Great Unknown. He has one sentence explaining this video. He says it has sally outs, it has wall fights, it has generals going ham, and cannons going bam. Doesn't get much better than that. All right, so Portugal, commanded by Emperor of the Great Unknown. We zoom in here. He's got some dismounted Portuguese knights. Lots of Portuguese knights. He's also bringing the conquistadors, a very good infantry there, and he's bringing some crossbows and feudal knights. It looks like a pretty solid attacking force. He does have a basilisk to knock down the walls, and a lot of siege equipment. So a pretty solid force there by Emperor the Great Unknown. Moving on to his 3 other allies, we have England over here. England looks like he's moving closer to the center towards the Venetians. So he's got some yeoman archers for his skirmishing force with some retinue longbows. And then he has some infantry over here, the armored swordsmen, which is equivalent to chivalric knights. He's got some feudal knights. He has some mailed knights, which he's going to be using defensively to protect his army just in case the enemy charges out. A lot more armored sergeants. And he's got some Irish kerns for a nice javelin force. And he's bringing a mortar, which is very interesting. Usually attackers bring artillery that's a bit more destructive against walls. So that mortar might be very handy later on in the battle. Here's more of his knights. So let's move on to the Venetians now. Venice is commanded by Shadow, and he is bringing some Venetian heavy infantry. He's got some Knights Hospitaller, some Pavi's crossbows in the front line here. Nice crossbow force. And then he's got some more Venetian heavy in the back. And then back here, he's bringing the dismounted broken lances. He's got the feudal knights. The Italian factions usually have very diverse infantry rosters, so a pretty solid infantry force there. That's a good army. So far, all the armies have been very solid. Now moving on to the French, commanded by the Crimson Kaiser. So he's got a general's bodyguard. He's bringing some Aventurier, so the nice crossbows there of the French late period. And then he's got some chivalric knights as his infantry. And I believe he also has some feudal knights and some noble knights, dismounted noble knights in the mix as well. So that is the French army there. Very, very nice force. Everyone is bringing excellent armies. I can tell this battle has some very good players. We're going to see some excellent strategies here. So moving quickly over to the defenders. Hungarians here, commanded by Jamie Dodger. He actually has a general and a battlefield assassin. He's got about 4 units of battlefield assassins, and he has some feudal knights in the mix as well, with some crossbows on the walls. It looks like he's got some Bosnian archers on the walls as well, with the toast shields. Look like a toast of bread there. Some bread, delicious slice of bread. And then he's got more feudal knights in the mix. I think he's got a lot of troops in reserve. Actually bringing a lot. Actually, you know what? The Hungarians mostly have their forces outside on the first layer wall, which is good to see. You got to put up some kind of defense on the outer walls. Make the enemy use up their ammo. Some more crossbows over here. So that's pretty much it for the Hungarians. Looking at the Holy Roman Empire, again, one of my favorite factions in the game, because I mean, it's just the Holy Roman Empire. It doesn't get much better than the Holy Roman Empire. They're bringing some crossbows. Back here they have a lot of reserves, like the dismounted Imperial Knights, a very cool unit there. He's got a Serpentine ready to defend this hill here. We've got some Cav ready to go, some Teutonic Knights, awesome. And he's got more crossbow militia just holding out in the front line. I don't really expect them to hold the front wall. I think he's going to fall back once they attack. Then he's got the Pavi's crossbows over here on the wall. And the rest of his army, it looks like he's bringing a lot of pikemen. So the Holy Roman Empire is commanded by Teutonic Order, by the way. So very fitting name there. And then moving on to the final army, which is Denmark, commanded by Wolfgang Ninebar. He's got, let's see, some Norse archers in the mix with some dismounted chivalric knights. So a pretty solid defensive force there. And then he's got some feudal knights in reserve in loose formation. And here's his general. And we got to also have a lot of feudal knights back here from the Holy Roman Empire. So that pretty much wraps up all the armies. And we're going to continue to watch this engagement here of the nice bombardment of Venice. And this makes things tricky. I've actually used this strategy before, where you have this nice aggressive artillery firing down on a attacking army that's just kind of sitting back, using the artillery to knock down your walls. But you see what he's doing here? He's got cav. He's using them defensively, but he's also got some archers nearby. So if Venice tries to be very aggressive, or if all the attackers group up their cav and try to take out this artillery, they're going to have a lot of archer support, even though the cav over here will be outnumbered. We can also see that he's got some mounted crossbows. Denmark moving over some mounted crossbows, and we have the Teutonic Knights moving into position. So they are well prepared. They know exactly what they're doing, and poor Venice here is just getting harassed. So not a great start. And you can see Venice is also bringing a mortar. I think they already lost a culverin there. So they already lost a cannon there. That is not a good sign. Again, you need every piece of artillery you can get. England holding their position at the corner. And we have Portugal here just continuing to move forward. It looks like he just wants to get a little bit closer to his allies. Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. I can already see it coming. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here. It looks like the defenders are going to get a little aggressive here. They are just... You know, the Venice is just their little plaything at this point. I mean, just seems like they're getting harassed, not really have a lot of answers to that culverin. That's a smart decision by Venice, falling back like that. Really, that's the best play you can do in this kind of situation. You can't really fight that off. You kind of have to just fall back a little bit, wait for your allies, wait for better opportunities to attack. And now we'll continue to fast forward here. Alright guys, so we did make a little cut there, just a movement of troops, but it seems like the defenders are now pushing forward their cav, waiting to strike, waiting for an opportunity to take out some very important pieces to the attacking army. Now this is a very common strategy for defending armies. They'll send out 1 or 2 cav units trying to get the trying to get the attackers off guard, trying to go for that artillery or something very important to their army. We can see it doesn't seem like he's gonna be attacking. He's really just moving up his defensive position and getting that serpentine in position. Excellent play here by Jamie Dodger 25. He's going to be trying to shoot down. I mean, he could go for a lot of different things here. He could go for the really deadly infantry. He could go for the siege towers or the archers, or even in general. You can go for a general snipe, but they got to do something here. They can't just sit back and just let this artillery boss them around. They've got to make a move. And that artillery, it's pretty far from the archers. I mean, it's still in range of the archer fire, but he's even moving out some crossbows. Wow, the Hungarians, man, they're getting aggressive. We even have some Teutonic Knights going in, looking for an opportunity to strike. So this is some crazy. These are some good players, guys. I mean, this is some top-notch mind games right here. Just trying to, you know, dip their toes in the water, so to speak. Test out enemy forces. Test out how quickly they can respond to certain situations. But it seems like this is going to be a false alarm. The Hungarians are actually pushing. Oh, wait. Hold that thought. The Teutonic Order, man, they're not, or the player Teutonic Order, he's not letting them rest. We also have Denmark, who is pushing in with his crossbows. They did get a little bit of the crossbows there. So we'll go back to normal speed here. Yeah, so they were able to kill a couple of the crossbows in this unit, but not really enough here. They still have 27 in their unit. And now they're going to fall back and just constantly harass the defenders. This is just grade A defending here, guys. Learn. This is a great way. If you're new to the game, this is excellent. This is an excellent example of how to be an aggressive defender. You don't want to sit back. You don't want to let the enemies or let the attackers, aka enemies, make all the calls. You want to be able to you know, make your own calls. You know, you want to make the enemy armies do what you want them to do, and that's exactly what's going on here with these defending forces. Just constantly harassing these troops. They're going after the mounted sergeants, and look at that. They're going to fall back. There's no way these mounted sergeants are going to be able to catch up. They're getting awfully close, though. Oh, and then we have the Teutonic Order charging in. Excuse me, Teutonic Order. Or the Holy Roman Empire, whatever. Alright, so we do have some pretty intense melee over here between the cav. We do have the general's bodyguard in melee. Is this the actual general, though? Is he really sending in his general this early on? It doesn't look like it. It's just the general's bodyguard. So the general is located elsewhere in the army, so he's not risking his general. Thank God. That would be so bad if France lost their general so early on. If we look over on this side, we actually have a lot of fighting going on here. Venice pushing up some, or actually England and Venice pushing up some knights. They're going for the artillery. Check this out, guys. They're charging up this hill. They're going for the charge on the Pavi's crossbowmen. Pavis are going to stand their ground. The Serpentine going to stand their ground, and the cav is trying, well, they're going to try to zone out. They're going to try to block this knight hospitaller charge. Will they save the artillery? Oh, he's running away his crew. He's going to try to save the crew. That's a smart idea there. Again, another pro play there from the Hungarians. And we have a lot of archer support up here on the walls. Arrow towers firing down. Here comes Portugal, Emperor of the Great Unknown, supporting his Venetian and English allies in this situation. And it looks like, yes, they are going to be able to stomp this aggressive play. But will it be worth it? So far, I think it will be worth it. They didn't lose any infantry. They're mostly losing cav, which is not a huge loss when you're attacking, because cav is not that effective inside a siege. Oh, here comes the Teutonic Order, though, seeking revenge. Excellent, excellent start to this battle. I like that there's some sallying out. I like that. It's very dynamic of a battle, and very technically sound. They know the fundamentals of Medieval 2 is what I'm trying to say. But the Teutonic Knights here, they're a very tough cav unit. One of the best cav units in the game. So even though they're outnumbered, they should do a lot of damage. And again, they have archer support. You can see a lot of arrows flying down. It's a little bit hard to tell because it is raining on the battlefield. But there are a lot of arrows coming down, penetrating this heavy plate armor there. Let's see if it's enough though. Denmark now is charging out their general's bodyguard with the actual general in the bodyguard unit. So this is a risky move from Denmark, but I guess it's a move that they're gonna have to make. And there is the retreat. They have sounded the retreat. They're gonna fall back. They realize that they don't have enough forces. They don't really need to be there anyways. They stopped the Serpentine. The crew though is going back to their artillery pieces. So Jamie Dodger, I mean, I'm gonna have to say this is a victory for the defenders. I think they were able to save their artillery. They killed a lot of the enemy cav, so now they no longer really have that cav option. And the Teutonic Knights, they're gonna pursue them. No, they're not. They're gonna fall back, and they're gonna stay close to the Serpentine as it continues to fire. And oh my goodness, look at this. The French and the Venetians, they're so scared. They're scared of that artillery, but they've grouped up all of their forces, and it looks like the bombardment phase is underway. So we might be at a little bit of a slow part at the siege battle. So we're going to do a little bit of fast forwarding here, and I promise you, you will not miss much. All right, guys, welcome back. It looks like the attackers are making another aggressive move here with mostly archers. So they realize that the defenders don't really have a lot of cav left over. We do have the Teutonic Knights, but they're down to 5. So this mass horde of archers, oh, they're breaking. It's just too many arrows. This is a very well executed plan here from the attackers. They're just soaking up, or they're not soaking up. They're making the artillery soak up a lot of arrows here, and the Serpentine is they're gonna turn into Swiss cheese essentially. There's nothing they can really do about it. The defenders don't really have an answer. I mean, they do have some archers on the walls trying to give them support, but yeah, there's nothing protecting the crew anymore, and that's gonna wrap up the sally out here. It was pretty effective. Was it worth it? It's tough to say. It really is, because they didn't lose any infantry. They lost a lot of cav, but defending and attacking cav is not super important except for this beginning phase where people will be very aggressive. We still have the general though out in very sticky situations. The general is outside his walls. He's got to be careful here. Hungarians, what the heck is going on here? We do have a ladder that actually made it to the walls. Hungarian battlefield assassins. How did they get the ladder here? I did not see that. I guess maybe Portugal sent up the ladder. I'm not really sure, but the Hungarians are using it now to leave and get back inside their castle here, their fortress. But the general is going to be able to very safely evacuate the situation. He's going to be able to get out of there, and I don't think Denmark is at risk of losing their general. And I think the bombardment phase is going to continue here, and the attackers are going to rethink their strategy, prepare to take the walls and begin their assault. All right, guys, welcome back once again. I'm sorry there's a lot of cuts in this battle. These Medieval 2 siege battles, they're marathons of battles, so I'm just cutting out any of the slow parts of just troops marching, not really missing much. But it looks like Portugal here being really aggressive, pushing up their feudal knights, ready to take the walls. And I know exactly what Emperor the Great Unknown is doing here. He's testing to see if they're actually going to defend these walls. Are they actually going to defend this outer wall, or are they going to fall back? Oh my goodness! We have a general down! How did he die? Where was that? Was it artillery? I think so. Or not artillery, I think it was archers. They sniped out the general. How unfortunate. Or was it the artillery back here? Oh my god. I think it was the ultimate general snipe. One of the greatest snipes there. I don't know, was that archers or what? It's tough to say. It really is. But that general's gone, and that's going to really, really make the attacking armies suffer there, especially Portugal, because it is so vital as the attacker that you must keep your generals alive to keep your troops inspired so they will continue to push on and try to take this fortress. But they have their ladders at the walls, The Hungarians are setting up a defensive position here. He's got his Chivalric Knights ready to hold the walls. We got a lot of troops actually storming out of the second layer of the fortress. So they're actually going to hold this outer wall. I think that is a smart idea. I really do, because look at how all these forces grouped up here. They grouped up, and now they're only attacking from one side. That's going to make it easier for the defenders. It's going to make it extremely easy. We do have Pavi's crossbow militia firing down. This is pretty good for the defenders as well, because they can just get them to waste their ammo so they don't have any ammo late game, which you definitely need that ammo late game. Denmark setting up some forces. The Holy Roman Empire sending over some forces. You can see a ladder is set. Really not a lot of troops defending over here. We got some battlefield assassins, a unit of 7. Here's another unit of 24. So they should be able to hold the walls. I mean, those battlefield assassins, they're very similar to the Hashashim. So they should be able to hold the walls. They're excellent at fighting on the walls. So there we go. I don't know. Portugal is really stretching his army thin. I think, you know, this defense wasn't a bluff. They're going to hold their ground. Now we have England pushing through with his feudal knights, taking on the Imperial Guard of the Holy Roman Empire. It seems, I don't know, the assault seems hopeless. So far. Just seems like they're really struggling here. Now they're really spreading out their force. This is good. Okay, so they're making the defense a little bit trickier here. If they can get a little lucky here, they might be able to sneak up some troops and get behind the exits for these forces. So if they can try to prevent these forces from retreating to the second layer wall, that would be huge. We'll see what happens here very soon. Portugal, it looks like, oh my god. I don't know, this is a bloody one here, guys. Portugal might be able to take this very critical position on the walls. Now we got more troops coming in. It looks like we got some noble knights, some Portuguese knights coming to the walls. More battlefield assassins coming over this way, trying to support this main fight. And now the siege towers are letting loose some conquistadors. Very tough unit, very excellent unit at taking out wall defenses. And the Hungarians are pushing up more feudal knights to the front line. So this battle is truly underway. More conquistadors silencing some Hungarian archers. Crossbows right next to the enemy, continuing to reload their crossbows. The English are now pushing on the front walls here. And this is a battle, guys. This is an excellent battle here. Troops just all over the place, fighting their hearts out just to take out the first wall. This is not very common for a Medieval 2 battle. You usually don't see this too often, and I am really enjoying it. I'm so glad it's turning out to be that way because, well, one issue for Medieval 2 is that once you've played 1,000 siege battles, they kind of all end the same. So it's nice to see a different strategy, a nice fresh strategy on the battlefield. Some more English forces going up the ladders here, putting pressure on the Danish forces trying to defend the walls. And here we go. This is a huge concern for the defenders. Venice really just stomping these Hungarians. This is a really good assault here. A part of me thinks that the Portuguese assault here was just a diversion. I mean, you can see most of the defending forces are located on this side. There's really not a lot defending over here. So Venice is just, they are stomping through this defense. They are really stomping through. And then we got the French who are now pushing over on these walls. Hungarians are moving up more infantry to try to support the rest of their infantry that's just getting swallowed whole over here. But they are a bit too late. They're not going to be able to save the day there. Just trying to get some of these Hungarian knights. The watermelon faction, man. Excellent. So they're going to push through. They're going to try to save this unit. They're down to 30, which is still pretty solid. They can still hold on for dear life. They are just taking on broken lances, which, you know, is a solid unit, but not as good as feudal knights. The rest of the Venetians, though, they have taken this wall. It looks like Venice is just stomping through these defenses. And if we look down here, the defenders are about to get overwhelmed We do have some not Hungarian, some Holy Roman Empire crossbows here, just trying to fire, trying to kill anything that they can see up on those walls. But I think it's time to retreat. It's time to fall back. We got a lot of archers over here. This is really, really good from the defenders. Putting down a lot of suppressing fire on those Portuguese attackers. Portugal really taking a lot of damage here at the beginning of this battle. Losing their general early on really is going to make it challenging for them. And they really took the brunt of that first assault there. I mean, they took on most of that arrow fire and Hungarian defense. But I think after a long, tough fight, they're able to take these walls pretty successfully. I mean, sometimes it takes the entire army to take these walls. So they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty well. Dismounted Imperial Knights trying to take on what's left of these conquistadors. They do have the arrow support, so they could win this. Also, they have the arrow tower support. But we have a fresh unit charging up on the walls. We've got more Portuguese knights coming up. They are going to get hit hard from those arrows. Very excellent shooting from them. Very nice job there. So good fire there at the siege tower. We got a handful of troops up on these walls doing what they can. But again, actually Portugal's breaking here. They're going to have to send up more infantry here. France is sending over some aid over here to try to help out Portugal. I'm just glad France and Portugal is on the same team because they look so similar. It can get very confusing. It sounds like they're fighting, but I don't see them fighting anyone. Let's see, the Hungarians moving in, trying to help out the Holy Roman Empire. They're keeping back this huge horde of Venetian forces. A lot of the crossbows are stationed up here, just trying to fire down at the defenders. You can see that there's some cav over here and some infantry just kind of waiting. I think maybe they might be blocking the exit here. Not really sure what he's doing with this infantry, but the crossbows are trying to fire back. We have a general down. I believe that was the Hungarian general. He was part of the battlefield assassins. It's tough to say, but I think I saw the Hungarian general die there. That's not as big as a deal as the attackers losing a general because they do have that infinite morale at the town center. But it's still going to affect their outer defenses. It could cause chain routing and whatnot. Oh, we got some fire arrows coming in. Looks like he's trying to break the enemy over here. And look at this, the Holy Roman Empire. They're going to hold these choke points here, not letting the enemy escape. And he's still holding over here with a handful of troops taking on those conquistadors. Some archers on top of the siege tower, not going down to the walls. It's a pretty good spot right there, getting a good amount of kills. The Irish Kerns pushing forward. Word has spread that it's safe to take the walls. Venice still having most of their army located on this single wall. And now France is storming the castle, guys. They are storming the castle. The Hungarians are falling back. The Danish are falling back. They're trying to get to safety here, and this is their next stand. I mean, there's a lot of troops waiting in reserve over here. We got the dismounted Huscarls. We have some crossbows. We got Norse archers. They're going to do a lot of damage to the attackers. But they didn't, I think, they did a great job defending this outer wall. But will it be enough? Now the Holy Roman Empire is actually falling back to the safety of this wall. Actually pretty clever over here using the artillery. And the reason that they have their artillery here is to use it aggressively. Again, the defenders are doing an excellent job using their armies very aggressively. They're not letting the attackers call the shots. So what's going to happen here is that if the attackers try to move up their artillery to knock down this wall, they're going to have to get through this serpentine first. So that's a pretty good maneuver right there. I really like that. It's pretty cool. So Portugal pushing forward. They're going through the streets. Those conquistadors, man. They're going to try to silence some of those archers there. The Portugal, I mean, his army's pretty much spent. I think he's got a lot of crossbows left. But they are falling back, the archers, to the safety of the pikemen. The pikes are going to go ahead and storm down here. Get ready to hold against these conquistadors. Oh, wow, they're actually gaining on them. Oh, my God, they're going to... They must be tired. Yeah, they're tired. And the conquistadors are fresh. The pikes are in place. He's going to fall back. Good move there. Except for that lone conquistador. He's crazy, guys. He don't care, and he's running in place. Look at this. He's showing off his skills, how fast he can run in place. Now he's fighting a pikeman who dropped his pike, but he still doesn't care. He's going to run in place. Now he's showing off how great his armor is by not even fighting back. There we go. The lone conquistador holding back the Holy Roman Empire pike. Oh, he's dead. Okay. He's gone. Here's the rest of the conquistador. I guess he's just kind of throwing away these units. I'm not too sure. All right, so Portugal storming on through. Venice taking the walls. They're taking all the walls. Look at that. They spread out their forces. They were able to just surround the defenders. And it started off looking like it was going to be an attack focused around one focused point. But as soon as they started attacking, they spread out their troops and they made it really, really challenging for the defenders. So I think we're pretty much phase 2 of this siege battle here. I think this is where things are going to slow down. We're going to see a lot of skirmishing. For example, we got some crossbows. It looks like they're going to take on some of these pikes here, which is very important, but not exactly the most exciting thing to watch. And I think they're going to try to soften up the defenses over here before they actually engage. So we're going to make another cut here, guys, and I promise you I will speed it back up, or I'll put it back to normal speed once they once the battle gets juicy. Alright, guys, I just made a huge cut in this battle. We just skipped through some very, very boring skirmishing and bombarding. Usually happens in this kind of siege battle where there's just this massively long bombardment phase. We didn't really miss a lot. I do want to let you know that Denmark actually lost their general. I guess a crazy artillery shot just took out one of the generals. So this artillery is just going wild right now, sniping out the generals. So very unfortunate for him. You can see that most of the walls have been destroyed. And there was, if you remember, there was a pretty defensive, like a strong defensive force. They decided to fall back because they were just getting out skirmished. So they went behind their walls, and now they're just waiting for the enemy to attack. And sure enough, the attackers are not being super aggressive. They're using their crossbows to fire through the choke points here. And the defenders are actually going to charge out some of their cav and try to take out these skirmishing forces. And they're actually going to get a nice charge there and take out a lot of those crossbows. He's going to fall back into the castle here. And let's see. His troops are setting up here. I think we're going to have some charges from infantry. You can see infantry is mobilizing, which is always good to see. There they go. As they march down the streets, you can see that destroyed wall in the background. And we have some forces over on the other side, of course, still just trying to skirmish the enemy. Portugal is setting up what forces he has left. Really, this assault, if the attackers want to win this one, it's going to come down to England. It's going to be all up to England to take this fortress with force, because I think he has the strongest army at this point. And if you look at the defenses, they have a lot of troops just waiting in the secondary line here in this archway. They got a few troops here and there. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough for the defenders. You can see the balance of power is greatly in favor of the attackers. So, I mean, it's been a pretty shaky start for these guys. So there we go. They're pushing up more crossbows. Shadow using his crossbows, trying to snipe out these pikemen before they engage. We've got a ram going to the gates, even though that's not really necessary because the gate... Oh, actually, the gate's up. The gate is up, so it's glitching it out. There we go. There we go. They're charging in. And I think this is going to be it, guys. They're charging in their mortar crew and their Irish kerns. So I don't think this is going to be it. I don't know. I guess he's using them as a meat shield. I'm not really too certain. Maybe he's just testing out how the defenders are going to how they're going to mobilize their forces and defend the choke points. You can see Denmark is pushing up some crossbows up to the walls. We actually have a lot of archers up on this wall. This is going to be very important. Now the forces are really beginning to mobilize. And here we go. Here we go. England charging in. This is the start, guys. This is the start of the siege. The final push for this great fortress. Right here, right now. So armored swordsmen going in, taking on the Hungarian feudal knights. Definitely needs some support from his allies. England needs support. Here we go. Here comes more armored armored swordsmen. They're actually breaking the Holy Roman Empire. And the defenses seem to be pretty shaky at this outer part of the fortress, guys. I don't know. England seems like the only one charging in. Like I said, England's going to be the saving grace here in this battle because he has the strongest army. Oh, they're taking out the Serpentine here. So they're going to silence that Serpentine. I'm surprised the defenders did not bring a catapult in this situation. It would have been very useful. You got fire arrows coming overhead, trying to take out the Danish feudal knights that are showing up as reinforcements. We have some Venetian heavy infantry bringing a ladder over here. There's really not a lot of infantry protecting these archers, so this is really risky, guys. They could lose their archers here unless they send up some infantry support to support them against the Venetian heavy infantry. But the armored swordsmen still going strong against the feudal knights here. Oh, we got a lot of breaking from the Hungarians, and England's going to take it just like that. But the Holy Roman Empire, they're putting down a defensive line. Check this out. They've got their feudal knights with their pikemen, their pike militia, and they're going to make a nice wall of defense. Now, is it going to be worth it? I don't really know because they just have so many archers that they could easily just send up their archers and fire down a bunch of, crossbows on this position. So we'll see what happens here. But Denmark, they're trying to hold on for dear life. The Venetian heavy infantry now storming in, trying to get behind Denmark, trying to go after some crossbows. We also have some crossbows up on this hill over here, putting down suppressing fire. Oh, and here comes the Holy Roman Empire. They're storming out, trying to surround the heavy Venetian infantry. A very tough unit to take out. Pikemen moving forward as well. Denmark trying to hold back the hordes of English forces. Venice now moving up their dismounted broken lances to support England. Oh, they're actually breaking the Venetians here. The Venetian heavy infantry, very nice. Now we got a stampede of Holy Roman Empire forces and Danish forces. Let's see what's going up over at the walls. Yes, here comes Venice. And here comes the walls. They're actually firing down the walls, saving some of their ammo. This is very wise from them. They might be able to take out a lot of these archers. The funny thing about Medieval 2 is that the walls get really glitchy. Once you start attacking them, your troops will stop. Oh my god! Wiped off the face of the planet. That, we just witnessed hundreds of troops there getting evaporated. That is very unfortunate. My goodness. That is a very, very nasty part of Medieval 2 siege battles. That was a great use of the siege equipment. I am surprised the defenders did not see that coming. Let's go back to this front line where the defenders are actually pushing back the English forces. They are going to rally their forces. They are holding on for dear life. But here comes the French. The French still have a very solid army. They're actually fighting some Danish forces on the outer walls. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Venice. Wait, what are you doing, Venice? Are you storming up? Are you going to put your crossbows up here? There's some dismounted Huscarls charging in. Trying to support the front line. No, they're going to change directions. They're going to go for the French out here. It's getting a little framey here, guys. There's a lot of troops on the battlefield. I do apologize about that. Also, a lot of walls crumbling. So Denmark storming out with their infantry. Do they have enough, though? Oof. I don't know. It looks like they committed most of their forces. They still have a couple feudal knights back here. Some Norse archers stationed up on this hill, taking defensive positions. More Huscarls. He's got the Serpentine setting up over here. The good thing about this wall getting destroyed is that they no longer have to defend this part of the wall. And the Norse archers, Pavis, trying to fight back against the enemy, but they're getting hit hard from arrows as well. So the Holy Roman Empire and the Danish, they're trying to keep back the English forces. You can see that there's a lot of archers over here. You got the English bows up on this wall as well, putting down the hurt. Actually looks really cool. Very awesome. Reloading there. I'm sure they're going to rack up a ton of kills. So they're doing an excellent job. And sure enough, they broke through the defenses. They're going to have to regroup. They're going to have to fall back. Let's see. I think they're going to hold their ground here, though, because they want to use this serpentine. They don't want to give up on the serpentine. They need to fire now. The crossbow's actually getting a really good shot there. They're going to stand their ground. He needs to charge them into melee. He's got to save time for the serpentine. He needs the serpentine to fire a couple shots, but the Hungarians, they're going to let the serpentine fall. They're going to let their allies' serpentine fall just like that. And they lost the artillery. They lost a very important tool to their defense. And that's going to wrap that up. Let's see. Denmark charging in more infantry, trying to save the serpentine. Crossbows right in front of the French's face, firing their crossbows. And now the Holy Roman Empire making their final stand over here. The balance of power not looking good. The attackers here only losing about 50% of their army so far. So I think the defenders, they're going to need a miracle to turn this one around. But miracles happen. Miracles happen all the time. There's a lot of troops on the battlefield here, guys. A lot of untouched troops. That sounded weird. Yeah, there's a lot of forces here. And they have more and more infantry storming up here. I mean, unless they have a catapult that's just hidden in the chambers over here, like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to turn this one around. We'll see, though. I mean, they saved the serpentine. I mean, you'd think that's a small thing, but that's huge. If that serpentine can just get a cannonball going through all those forces, all those troops located down the street, down the alleyway, it could change the game. It could cause a chain rout. Remember that they lost a couple generals. Denmark, though, they're holding. They got their feudal knights. And now the English are charging in with their reserves. Wow. What a blob of forces. They're really blobbing up now. I think they can taste victory. They're getting anxious. They want this battle to end. They want to take this town center, but they've got to get through Denmark first. They got to get through the crossbows and the infantry, which together they're going to rack up a lot of kills. So they don't want to group up too much here. Could be disaster for the assault here. But it's mostly Portugal, Venetians attacking the center position, and the English forces are attacking this flank. Where's that serpentine? Where is it? Oh, he's moving it to the other side. He actually saved both of the serpentine cannons. So he's going to be able to put them into this position here. I mean, there's so many archers left. I mean, this is just... It seems so hopeless. But look at this brawl in the streets. This is why we love Medieval 2 right here, guys. Excellent show right here. Oh, he's breaking. The fire arrows are just too much for the forces in the front line. Where is that serpentine? Where is it? 54%. So they're actually killing a pretty large amount here the last couple minutes. Killed a lot percentage-wise. But the defenders are down to 82, or they lost 82%. We got a lot of projectiles flying through here. Oh, here's that serpentine, guys. Here's that serpentine. The defenders are using fire arrows, trying to break the enemy, trying to get them to chain route. Come on, serpentine, fire. Come on. I don't know. They're not firing. They're not reloading. They're not. Okay, there they go. There we go. This is going to be huge, guys. This is going to be huge. I think the Hungarians need to fall back. They're still holding on this position here. Nice street battle. Yes, yes, they wiped out a ton of troops. Unfortunately, some of the forces are breaking, but they are breaking some of the attacking forces. There's a stampede of troops just running for their lives. They need to quickly reload that Serpentine. That is their only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're really grouped up. Oh, there goes another cannonball ripping through the lines. Let's see if they can get another shot here. Come on. Come on. Oh, there goes the Holy Roman Empire's general is dead. He put up a great fight. Unfortunately, that is the end of the road for him. And that might be the end of the road for the defenders. Come on, Serpentine. Don't you break. Don't you break, damn you. This is your time to shine. You can save the day with a really good shot right here. The Hungarians, what is left of the Hungarians charging down the center? Come on, Serpentine. Come on. Why are you pushing the cannons? Just fire. Yeah, they pretty much have given up on this flank. Though there's a thin line of brave Danish forces holding back a massive force of French and English troops. What an epic showdown right here, guys. Just an absolute brawl. Come on, where's that Serpentine? You're going to have to get some friendly fire. Oh, the French are breaking through. We got a lone French soldier charging in. They're doing everything they can to hold back this massive horde. They're not giving up yet, and that's what I like to see. Denmark, they're wavering. Looks like the end of the road for Denmark over here. Now we got, looks like General's bodyguard charging in. Trying to quickly break these troops so they can help this center assault. Flank around the defenders. The Serpentine is falling back to the town center. He might be going up on this slight slope to try to get some good hits. I like the fact that the defenders are not giving up even though the odds seem against them. Odds can be deceiving. Never tell me the odds. I got a bad feeling about this. Just try to, you know, say random phrases from Star Wars. When in doubt, when you don't know what to say, just say some Star Wars quotes. It usually goes well. But the Holy Roman Empire down to a handful of troops. I think that's going to be it for the infantry near the archways. Yeah, it's mostly Venetian. Well, there's some Danish for. Oh no, they're breaking. They're breaking. Now the French, Portuguese, Venetians able to charge through. The Serpentine trying to quickly get ready here. Can they pull off a miracle? Can they get one shot that will be heard around the world and break all of the attacking forces? I believe. Do you believe? We just need more people to believe. We need more people to believe. Anything is possible. Oh, the guy who's going to reload the shot here, he gets shot with the arrow. There's lots of arrows coming down, trying to silence his Serpentine. They're trying to quickly reform, but it's too late. It's too late. One lone Danish troop trying to hold back a horde of Venetians. It's not going to be enough. The Serpentine is getting surrounded, and the hordes of attacking forces are going to be able to break through. But what an epic struggle at this second layer of this defense. And now the attackers, well, they're down to this. They're down to archers that just will not give up. We got archers on the hill over here, putting down their final shots. Really, at this point, the defenders are just trying to rack up as many kills as possible. Just trying to save the day, you know, just trying to look like the best player on their team. But it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. I think it's safe to say the defenders are going to lose this one. 96% of the defending army has been destroyed. 63% of the attacking army has been destroyed. So now we will just sit back and enjoy this final stand from the Holy Roman Empire and the Hungarians here. All these crossbows are going to evaporate those Hungarian archers. Yep, look at this. Look, it's not even fair. It's not even fair. And there we go. They're breaking. Going to the town center. Oh, we have a ladder over here. How the heck did we have a ladder in the town center? Who brought a ladder over here? How? I've never seen that before. All right, the Danish are now putting down their final stand in the very back corner of the town center. And we'll go ahead and fast forward here, guys, because that's pretty much the end of the road for these guys. Venice able to cut down the Holy Roman Empire and the Hungarians. And now the army storms in. We have our mid defeats, and that is GG. Fantastic battle. Really good. This is a perfect example of a good assault. Really good maneuvers there. Excellent tactics. They did great at that front wall. And in the words of our future president, that defense on the outer walls was a disaster. So yeah, it's just they were spread out too thin. I think I really respect the fact that they tried to defend the outer walls, but I think they should have fallen back a long time ago and just tried to defend this second layer. But again, I respect them for being so aggressive, and it was a great fight. The defenders did a great job as well. You got to give them credit, you know, where credit is due. That I love that aggressive play, pushing out the artillery and whatnot. But yeah, if we look here, the defenders not doing so well. The Teutonic Order only getting 554 kills. Not a good number there when you're trying to defend. Again, the unit scaling was small for this battle, so you're not going to see a ton of kills. But Jamie Dodger leading the way with the kills. Over on this side, Shadow from Venice getting 712. So clear victory here. Emperor the Great Unknown, here's his stats. So yeah, that's going to wrap up today's battle. Remember, guys, share your very favorite moments of Medieval 2, whatever that may be. Leave it down in the comments. I'm going to love reading those. It's going to be so much fun. And again, I just want to give a big happy birthday to Medieval 2 Total War. Such a legendary game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this legendary battle. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, a comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.